Hey yo! Can you believe it's like February already? If you're listening to this, it is officially February. Like, this is where we really get to anchor into ourselves and our self-love. I know everyone's like going hard, you had the New Year resolution thing happen, you're working on your health and all this shit. But I want you to actually realize none of this stuff matters if you don't love yourself. And it we all think like, oh yeah, I'm feeling myself today. I love myself today. Shout out to Biff Naked. I love myself today, not like yesterday. Anyway, so when we are thinking of self-love, this is so much more than just booking yourself a facial, being like, yeah, yeah, give yourself a hug. We need to actually do the work and put and pour love, intentional love into ourselves, into our being, into where we are at present. It's not just about loving ourselves today, it's loving ourselves enough to pave the way so we can continue to grow and evolve and scale to that person and version of ourselves that we are becoming and we want to become, that we desire to become, that we are manifesting and evolving into. We need to love ourselves for all the lessons we have learned in the past, present, and are going to be learning in the future. We have to love ourselves enough to stand the test of time that is our life. That is our purpose. That is our mission. That is the reason we wake up in the morning and keep doing this thing over and over again. We need to love ourselves enough to forgive ourselves for all the shit that we did wrong and all the shit that we did to get us to where we are. It's not even about being wrong, but loving ourselves enough to accept who we are and where we are now and what we desire to come. Without this form of acceptance, without learning to love bomb the shit out of ourselves, we're never actually going to achieve, scale, or grow in any way. You can have all the strategy in the world and none of it's going to matter unless you get in on the love bombing. So here we go. We're going to love bomb the shit out of ourselves today. Hello, Mystic Sisters. It's your host here, Jessica Mystic, your favorite starseed, crazy as fuck business coach and mindfulness expert. And I'm here to tell you that not only do I love you, but we're going to work on loving you today as you are while showing you how to apply strategy, techniques, mindfulness to help you grow and evolve so that you can unlock all that is truly possible for you to create the most beautiful, most magical life for yourself and develop good cash habits that are going to help you manifest more money while you're doing the damn thing. So let's curate this chaos, save your sanity, and create the life you truly desire by anchoring in to self-love, which truly isn't more than just about love. It is self-acceptance and loving ourselves enough to keep pouring and investing into ourselves and our being, whether it be in spirit, mind, body, all of it, all of it. And today's activity, we're going to do like a very basic mirror ritual, as well as I'm going to love bomb the shit out of you with some like affirmations. We're going to pull some shit. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get to see the cards I'm pulling. I'm actually using the Louise Hay deck today. How to Love Yourself cards. And I'm going to be pulling a few of them today for fun so that whatever ones I pull, you can decide which one feels most aligned with you. And that's going to be the affirmation you're repeating to yourself this week, especially while doing your mirror ritual. And what is a mirror ritual? Well, this is how we're going to be able to see the beauty within ourselves. Like it's not just about like closing our eyes and reflecting, gratitude practice. That's all fine and dandy. But when we come with a spirit of acceptance, this is where we get to like look at our reflection in the mirror. And usually when we look in the mirror, we're immediately looking for what we need to correct, what we need to fix. We don't like, ooh, bags under my eyes, or ooh, my skin's breaking out. Instead of looking in the mirror with picking yourself apart, I want you to look in the mirror and really just stare at yourself for a minute. I want you to look into your own eyes. And I want you to find like that connection to your soul and yourself the way you would when you're really looking into the eyes of another person. And I want you to kind of just sit there and get lost, like you're looking into almost like you're looking into a scrying bowl, or if you don't know what that is, you're just really just sitting with yourself in that moment. Look into your eyes. Look at how incredible your eyes are, how your irises are formed. And then when you do look at yourself in the mirror, look at your body. Look at your face. Look at your hair. Look at everything and the way that you express yourself, the way that you are, the way you style your hair, the way you cut your hair, the comfy clothes you choose to wear. I want you to look at everything that's the decisions you've made for this person that you've become so far. Because you have made every decision in your life to evolve and become this person you are today, just as you are for that person you are becoming tomorrow and in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. I want you to think for a moment on all the incredible strengths and accomplishments that this person, you, have achieved thus far. When those criticisms come to mind, when you're looking and you start to notice something you don't like about yourself, rather than just like, oh, yeah, not that, push away and forget it, I want you to stop for a moment and think as to why this bothers you. Because most times when we see something we don't like about ourselves, there's a deeper reason. Like if we don't like our skin, why is that? Is it because we know we could be eating better? Is it because we know we could be taking care of our skin better and we're not? Like, what is the deeper thing that you're criticizing yourself for? It's not just about your skin. Oh, why am I this way? When I look in the mirror and I get frustrated with the way that my abdomen looks, for example, I get mad at myself because I feel like I wasted all those years I was skinny thinking I was fat. And I look at my abdomen and I am proud that I've birthed my children and carried 2 children, but I get frustrated because I'm more frustrated at the fact that I feel broken because I suffer from severe diastasis. I am actually scheduled to been looking to get in for my abdominoplasty because I need to sew that shit together because it just ain't going back. So what am I truly mad about? I don't actually hate my belly. I hate that it's broken. And I hate the way I feel broken. I hate the way that it makes me feel fearful to work out or to do things because I'm afraid to make it worse. Or I just don't feel strong. I feel weakened in that part of my body. Do you see how there's different things that are underlying what I don't like there? And then what's feeding that dysphoria for me all stems from loss of control, from being fearful, from feeling inadequate and weak. So when I wrap my head around that and ask myself, why does weakness bother me so much? I look at the years of abuse and trauma that I had gone through from past relationships or to myself and the decisions I made, and it begins to compile. And I have to come to a place when I'm looking at myself to say, wait a minute, instead of focusing on all that, I understand where that's coming from. And now when I look at my belly, I anchor into the fact that I have the power to repair this, to improve this. I can choose to move my body and to eat healthy, and I can choose to seek corrective surgeries. I can choose to do these things if that's what I desire. And if you don't desire these, I'm using myself as an example here, but if you're looking in the mirror and there's something else you don't like about yourself, the way that, I don't know, maybe you have a scar you don't like. Is it what that memory of that scar reminds you of? What is it about that you don't like so much? And if I just wish that it would disappear. Well, what is it that you wish would disappear? What would the version of you without that be feeling? And if you did repair, replace, or correct something, instead of ripping yourself apart, I want you to anchor into that feeling of how does it feel if that wasn't there? If you were to feel whole, if you were to feel quote unquote fixed, if you were to feel thinner or more strong or stronger or more muscular, what is it, the feeling that you're searching? Because once you can define the feeling you're searching for, I want you to realize in this moment what is possible for you. Because if you can feel it, if you can think it, if you can believe it, that improvement is possible for you. Often we get stuck in this, I wish I could just go back to the way I was, but we need to stop here. This is where the acceptance and the love comes in because we're not meant to go backwards. We're meant to grow and go forwards. So when we look back, we should look back in celebration and with compassion and with empathy for who we were and what we went through. Whether or not you were surviving, whether or not you're celebrating, whatever you're looking back on, that version of you was going through a lesson and you either had an outcome that you needed or a sorry, the outcome that you desire And obviously, if it wasn't met, then it was a lesson you needed. At no point were you failed or broken. You've only been weathering the storm that is life. Hey, it happens. But when we can look back and find the beauty and anchor into a memory and a lesson that resonates with us, something we're proud of from that time in our lives, and when we love ourselves for all that we've gone through, for overcoming so many different things, we have learned so much to get here. Often we're so concerned about what we haven't achieved yet and where we're trying to go that we actually don't give ourselves credit for all we've accomplished so far. Like, I've birthed 2 children. Like, that's an accomplishment. I have built and scaled 2 businesses. I mean, I've had my own businesses before then. Like, I look back at all the lessons I've learned and things I did wrong, but in that time, I had my own tattoo shop. Before then, all the times I was manipulated or in these bad relationships, I learned and grew and I followed my passions and I stuck to my dream and I didn't give up and I'm still here today. Imagine that you can see through your skin in the mirror, and not in like a gross way, but I want you to imagine that you can see through the skin beneath the surface. And when the skin starts to fade away, instead of seeing tissue and blood and muscle and overthinking it, I want you to see like a light that's emanating, as if your skin has a light bulb behind it and that glow, like you know when you're holding something at that glow and redness in your hands, there's a light inside of you. I want you to picture everything fading away to have this glowing orb in the center of your chest. And that light is who you are. Nothing else matters. All these things that you're criticizing and concerned about, these are all stories that you've bought into and created or listened to or on repeat in your head. I want you to focus on the radiance and the greatness that is your soul. You are a being. And who you are choosing to be today is only one part of what is possible from this radiant light that is your soul, your complete human entity. Now, as you back up and you look in the mirror again, I want you to find one feature to focus on. This could be any physical feature, or as you're staring at yourself, it'd be personality feature, something that you love about yourself, something that you're proud of. I want you to hone in and give it all your attention. Like, I pride myself, it's a double-edged sword, but I pride myself in my work ethic and my devotion and my determination, my my impulsivity. I love it because it's fun. I go all in on what feels good. Now, of course, that's a whole other conversation. Like, you don't need to be all in 100% of the time on every single thing, but I love that about myself. I love how interesting my life gets to be because I choose to anchor into what excites me and to pursue what my passions are and what I feel called to do. I love myself for being strong enough and brave enough to keep taking action, even when I don't feel like it. Even when I feel gross or feel down or feel like I'm struggling, I know that I will show up for myself in some way, in one small way, in any way for myself, because I know that I will do it for me. I will do it for my family. I'll do it for others. I know that I am pure at heart and I am good and I am kind and am I am love, just like you are. You are love, and you are loved infinitely. If you haven't felt loved by others, and if you're not feeling loved by yourself, know that you are loved. I fucking love you. I love you for being here, for listening right now, for doing this exercise, for taking the time to pour into yourself, even when you don't understand what the fuck you're doing and you're trying to grasp at straws and the world is complicated and you haven't slept in 4 days and the kids are keeping you up and life is so hectic and crazy, but you keep showing up. You keep trying. I love you for that. And you should love yourself for that. If the biggest thing you could do today was just get out of bed, I love you for that. And I want you to start speaking to yourself the way you would if you were speaking to the 4-year-old version of you that's so overwhelmed and has these big feelings and has no idea what she wants to do with her life, but she just wants to play. She just wants to live. We need to love our inner child. We need to be able to hug and hold ourselves at times of need and rest and care for ourselves the way we would for another human being. As heart-led healers, we will give everything away to anyone that needs it and neglect ourselves last. But it's just like that thing on the plane, you put your mask on, you can't help anybody else. If you don't start pouring love into yourself, what fucking good are you if you're miserable and dead? Because I have news for you, you're not dead yet. You're still here because you're meant to be. Your divine purpose is to create and to interact and to make a mark and transform someone and yourself and everyone in some way on this world. Your existence matters. Your love is the light. Your story is exactly what's going to save somebody else out there. You matter. And when you realize how important you really are, I want you to love yourself and lead with that same love the way you would for anybody else. Now that I've been lecturing you, we're going to pull a few affirmations here today. And you're going to pick which one works best for you. I'm going to pick 3. All right, let's do this. Mixing it up with a quote. I like when they jump out because that is source telling me what message needs to be spread. There's another. Flip there. Oh, this is fitting. Universe never disappoints. Need one more. Oh, that one almost flipped, but didn't quite. Keep going. Shuffling here. Oh, this one didn't want to come. There we go. That one was jamming. Flips and jamming are how we do. Okay, this one here. I affirm that I am willing. No, sorry. I affirm that I am totally willing to freely forgive everyone. That includes you. I affirm that I am totally willing to freely forgive everyone. This is a good one. This is one. Forgiveness is love, you guys. And I really can't stress that enough. It doesn't mean that you have to forget. It doesn't mean that it's okay for what has ever happened, what you've done to yourself, what someone's done to you. But forgiveness. I forgive myself for any wrongdoing. It's a big one. And this one's very fitting too. This is the last one. These all go together so well. I love myself totally in the now. In the now. We're loving ourselves as we are right fucking now. Right now. I love that I've created this podcast to reach you, to connect with you, to help spark what you need so that you can start to love yourself and what you do. If you don't love yourself, you are your business. If you don't love yourself and what you're doing, shit's not going to work out. You're not going to be able to hold it. You're not going to be able to get anywhere because you're always going to be in resistance. You're always going to be fighting and you're always going to have this void. So really anchoring into this self-love and acceptance and growing your awareness, this mindfulness, so that when you love yourself, anchoring into love is what makes everything possible for you. There's nothing you can't do when you have love. It is the strongest. Love is light. Light trumps dark. And on that note, that is our activation for this week. I'll catch up with you guys on Wednesday when we dive deep into love bombing in business not just ourselves, but how to love bomb in a way that benefits you and what you do with a little bit of actual strategy. I'm gonna tell you guys how to like really anchor in to like harnessing the power of love without using or manipulating with it. Like when you actually use love, that's how you gain awareness, stand out, and grow, because that's what makes you different as a heart-led leader. When you actually lean into love and what's possible from it for you, for others. You're going to change fucking world. This is how we bring the humanity back into our business. This is where it's at. Much love, many blessings. Until the next episode.